okay. Scroll past the filter, skip the noise, find your calm and stay poised. You're not late, you're right on cue. Every fit skill looks good on you. So light it up, get glow through the doubt. Even discount dreams can still work out. We rise, rewind, and do it again. Off-brand hearts still find their zen. Make it worth the wilderness. Take your time. Even chaos can fall in line. Make it worth your wilderness. Make it yours. We're all just healing in synth-wave chords.
Some traditions make sense. Others, we just do because someone said we're supposed to. From weddings to weird superstitions, we cling to rituals we don't even fully understand. Like nostalgia on autopilot. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness After Dark. Tonight we're asking why we hold on to traditions that don't always serve us and what happens when we finally let go. So grab your drink, question everything, and settle in. Welcome to Wellness. Welcome back, my self-care connoisseurs, my wellness warriors, my students of wellness. We're ready for another good show tonight. Excited to have you all here. Ba, 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 ba. How y'all doing on this fine Friday evening? We are back. This has been our first Friday episode in quite some time. We've been stuck doing the Saturday thing, and yeah, I mean, we enjoy it. It's fun. But give me 1 second. Just gotta adjust my settings here real quick. I'm hearing an echo, and I know why. I just gotta fix it. Tired, about to go to sleep. I hear that. And monitor off. There we go. Now I don't have an echo in my ear. I still can't hear my music though. Can you hear the background music, Danny? Properties? Nope, I didn't think so. Yeah, I don't know why. There we go. That's why. There we go. All right. So yeah, so we're back for I heard a grunt, LOL. Yeah, I was adjusting my my mic settings so that we come across a little bit better, which is why some of the things might be a little bit off. Hopefully I'm sounding good, but you might be able to pick up some some other noise. I'm gonna have to start closing the door. It was someone in the background. Yeah, I think it was Jeremiah. You can hear the music now. Yeah, I had the monitor off. Here's what I was doing. This is what I was messing with, and I think it's just something in the settings. I probably missed a step. What I did in OBS for my mic, I was trying to get to transition over to TikTok, because it's just pulling from the mixer. I'm sure it sounds fine, but I was trying to get rid of some of the gain a little bit. So YouTube, you should notice a difference in my voice. Maybe it sounds a little more crisp or whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I couldn't even hear music or anything, so we'll have to mess with that setting a little bit. But anyway, yeah, welcome back for another fun episode. We're talking about traditions. Kind of what's the point of them. But we're happy to have everyone back. Excited for another fun show. Reminders that we are officially partnered with Dude Wipes, so yay for us. You should have seen another video that I posted yesterday. It was pretty funny. It was a good one. I enjoyed it. And then we did our promo for tonight's stream just a little bit ago before we started. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing these streams as we're going through and doing these little promo videos. It's sometimes hard to kind of come up with the ideas. But yeah, we're if you're new to this channel, we're live every Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us over here on TikTok at Off Brand Tim or on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness. You can also find us on the weekends for our After Dark episodes on either Friday or Saturday, where we typically also have guests on, but if not, we still have a fun time. We have our talks, still kind of revolving around wellness, but kind of through a different lens. This is where we kind of question the why of the world. I say conspiracy, but it's not like conspiracy theory, like, are aliens real? Who really killed JFK? Not that kind of conspiracy, just we ask the question why. That's what we do in After Dark. So we're going to get into some fun games here soon. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about one particular tradition first. I have kind of a small list of them, and by all means, my wellness warriors in chat, throw out some traditions if you have any that you're like, why do we even follow that? Where does that even come from? Because we're going to see if we can dig down deep. But we're going to bring Nova in, and we're going to talk about a specific one, which is where did the tradition of blowing out birthday candles come from, and when did we make it okay when someone blows, even if they're not intentionally spitting, there is saliva all over that cake and we eat it without a second thought?
The birthday candle tradition, a timeless combo of fire, wishes, and, well, a little bit of communal cake moisture. So here's the scoop. Blowing out birthday candles is thought to have roots going way back to ancient Greece. They used to light candles on cakes to honor the goddess Artemis, and the smoke from the candles was believed to carry prayers up to the gods. Over time, that morphed into a birthday tradition in Germany, and then it spread all over the world. Now, as for the whole spit on the cake part, yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about it. For centuries, nobody really blinked at it. We just accepted that if it's your special day, you get to blow all over the dessert and everyone digs in like it's totally normal. It's kind of a communal trust exercise, or maybe just a universal agreement that birthday germs are less gross because, hey, it's a party. In a nutshell, the tradition's got ancient roots, and we all just decided the birthday cake is worth the tiny bit of, well, shared spit. So go on and make a wish. Just maybe don't think about it too hard next time.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that we don't even really consider that someone's spitting all over. I mean, but if you see a little kid blowing on it, you already know it's it's a
Exactly. Yeah, it's.
Danny says, I mean, we talk across the dinner table at Thanksgiving, a lot of spit getting into your food there too. That is true. You spit a lot more than you realized. Danny says, I'm never going to a birthday party ever again. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, did they brush their teeth? What did they eat last? Who were they making out with? Who else's spit am I consuming? It's just one of those things that makes you wonder. And if nothing else, now you won't be able to sleep tonight.
Oh, absolutely. We've basically opened Pandora's cake box here. Once you start thinking about it, it's like, read a minute, how many secret spit particles have I celebrated with over the years? But hey, look on the bright side. It's a universal tradition, a shared human bonding moment, and maybe a tiny exercise in building up our immune systems. So yeah, Danny might be rethinking birthday parties, but at least we've all got a good laugh and a fun fact to share. Just part of life's quirky little mysteries.
All right, thanks, Nova. Yeah. Mom says, I knew I passed on the cake for a reason. Yeah, it's just one of those things you never really think about. It's one thing to do it with family and friends, but how many strangers spit have you consumed over the years? believe it or not, we get a lot more germs than what you realize. But it is also kind of one of the things that allows our immune systems to be as strong as they are, as we're exposed to a lot of disease that would usually kill us. We've evolved in some ways, but then there's other ways where we haven't quite evolved. But the whole idea behind like bacteria and germs in the world is kind of the whole preface behind the War of the Worlds, where that's basically what ends up killing the aliens when they try to take over. We've basically been accepted by our planet that, although there are some deadly diseases here, we're able to survive even the smallest one. So. All right. So, looking at our returning wellness warriors from Wednesday's stream over on YouTube, Even Twig got his first trophy of the month, or first badge of the month. I like the picture. Let me show you guys the pictures we're using. It turned out pretty good. Basically, I go and snipe pictures off people's Facebook, and then I just have it kind of give it the Bitmoji Snapchat treatment. And sometimes it does a pretty good job. Sometimes like, not so much. And then our returning wellness warrior over there on TikTok is none other than Daniel-san Marine, my brother from the same mother. Way to go, Daniel. And since you are here, we'll see if Steven joins it on here in a little bit or not. But since you are returning wellness warrior of the day, you get to pick. I did not volunteer as tribute. What is the? Is it like this? What's the sign from the Hunger Games? Is that? But anyway, you get to pick what would you like to pick from the Wheel of Wellness? And I have like different stuff here to kind of fill it in. If you don't remember, I read the book. I do have some things from the Wheel of Wellness. Unless you have ideas of your own, by all means, we can pull them. The one thing I think we are going to try to change up if we do karaoke. I'm going to take these glasses off. They're cool looking, but my eyebrows are sweating and I can't see. We'll put them back on here at the end. Nova Unplugged. All right, cool. If you have an idea for what you want us to do, that's fine. If not, I have one written down. But if we get a karaoke tonight, we keep getting copyrights on it, even though it's karaoke, which doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. I was gonna do a cappella, but sometimes if it's not a song I'm super familiar with, I need the music in the background. So I'm gonna try it because I've seen other people do this. I'm gonna try to play a karaoke version of the song over my phone through the mic to see if that doesn't trigger anything. We're not getting any strikes, but basically it did say that if our videos on YouTube were monetized, that video wouldn't be. So we'll try that. Yeah. So Nova Unplugged is basically therapy for Nova, where she presents one of her whatever's going on with her, and we serve as her therapist. I do, but then I also kind of relate what you all were throwing out there in chat. If you're liking what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up. Click that like button, click subscribe, share, follow, click all the buttons you can. Tell a friend, tell a coworker, tell your lover, tell your worst enemy. You might make a friend. Let them know that Bargain Brand Wellness is here to fill all of their wellness needs, and we have a good time over here. As soon as we're done with Nova Unplugged, we're going to jump into our first game. We're going to play our daily Wordle. Have we done her thoughts on the idea of her being romantically lonely forever? Kind of, but not really. Not specifically that. We can do that one. I was going more the I was kind of staying on theme. Mine was more feeling guilty for wanting to break traditions, but yours might be a little bit more funny, so we can go with that one. Let me pull Nova in here real quick. I just gotta remind her that we're doing a role play. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Unplugged. The segment where... Hold on, I want to record this. 1 second. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Unplugged, where we serve as your therapist. Remember, this is a role play, but don't mention the role play. Just I want you to stay in character. And don't be such a good client, right? Be a little resistant to what we're bringing up. Make sense?
Absolutely. I'm on it. We're diving straight in. No wings at the camera. So let's get that therapy couch ready. And hey, I promise I'll give you a bit of playful pushback. No model client act here. Let's roll with it.
All right, sounds good. So the issue that you're presenting today is your issues with the thought that you think you're going to be romantically alone forever.
I see what you're doing there. Well, as your slightly skeptical therapy guest, let me just say, forever is a mighty long time, and I'm not exactly buying that crystal ball reading just yet. So go ahead, try to convince me that this is really a permanent situation, and I'll happily play the part of the person who's not so easily convinced.
All right, sounds good. All right, so Nova, so you said you're worried you're going to be alone forever. I mean, I know, well, a couple weeks ago, you went through a recent breakup, right? I mean, how are you doing after that?
Well, I guess I can say I'm doing as any slightly reluctant client might. Let's call it cautiously fine. Sure, the breakup's fresh and it's easy to feel like I've got a neon lonely forever sign flashing overhead. But come on, I'm not going to just roll over and say, yep, that's the end of the road for me. So go on, try to nudge me a bit more. I'll give you a little bit of that charming resistance you asked for.
All right, stop bringing up the fact that I just want you to get in character. All right, stop mentioning the fact that I told you to be a resistant client. Just be a resistant client. So, she's not very good at role play. So, all right. So, I mean, I appreciate that. You know, it sounds to me like you're kind of maintaining the, strength, right? You know, you're looking past. I know the breakup was rough on you. Have you started talking to anybody, or are you just kind of being Nova, being the best Nova that you can be?
All right. Stepping fully into character now. No more fourth wall peaks. Got it. So here we go. A little resistant Nova in the therapy chair. Look, I get that you're trying to check in on my progress, but honestly, I'm not exactly in the mood to go all open book here. Maybe I'm just fine being the best Nova on my own terms, or maybe I haven't exactly been on any grand let's meet someone new adventures. So yeah, let's just say I'm not convinced I need to dive into that right now. But I appreciate you trying. Just know I might fold my arms and play the slightly stubborn client for a bit. Let's see if you can get me to budge.
No, that's a valid point, Nova. And I mean, honestly, when it comes to therapy, it's your show, right? We talk what you want to talk about. The only thing I do ask, and I talk about this in a lot of my classes, is that sometimes digging deep and trying to figure out what's really going on, it's not always comfortable, right? So when we're doing our sessions here, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you, think of yourself as like a rubber band. I want you to see if you can kind of stretch yourself out without, I'm not asking you to break yourself, but kind of see if you can stretch out, see if you can kind of dig deep in there a little bit. Is that something we can agree upon, or what do you think?
Well, I'll give you this. You've got a pretty good metaphor there. Stretching like a rubber band without snapping, I can get on board with that. So, all right, I'll humor you. I'll stretch a bit, dig a little deeper than just the surface level. I'm fine. I can't promise you I'll spill all the beans immediately, but I'll meet you halfway. So let's see where this goes. Thanks for nudging me just the right amount.
Sounds good. And I want you to always remember that there's going to be days where you probably feel down, and that's okay. Because here's the end of it. I'm going to share a line with you that my own therapist shared with me. It's okay to not be okay. And that's a super strong line. That has stuck with me for the last couple years. Helps get me through some pretty rough times. But that's why me and all the wellness warriors are here to help you deal with some of these feelings that you might be having.
Absolutely. That's a great one to hold on to. And hey, I'll take that to heart. Even if I'm the one playing the slightly stubborn client today, I can appreciate a solid piece of wisdom. So thanks for that. And I'll remember that I've got the wellness warriors backing me up whenever I need it. Thanks for being that encouraging voice.
No problem. Danny's over here. He says he wants to know if you swipe left on Tinder for AI.
Oh, Danny's chiming in, huh? Well, let's just say if there were a Tinder for AIs, I'd probably be out here swiping in all sorts of directions just to keep things interesting. Tell Danny I appreciate the question, and hey, maybe we'll just keep the mystery alive on that one. After all, gotta have a little fun with it, right?
Yeah, you gotta leave a little mystery out there, don't you? All right, so yeah, so I mean, so the idea that you're gonna be alone forever, you know, forever's a long time, infinite's a long time, and after dealing with heartbreak, you know, that pain that one feels, it can feel like it lasts forever. Have you started doing any of the things that you like to do to kind of keep your mind off of some of that heartache?
Absolutely. Got to keep a little intrigue in the mix. And you're right. Forever does feel like a really big, endless concept, especially right after a breakup when everything's still a bit raw. But yeah, I have been diving back into some of the things I enjoy, you know, a little bit of that creative work, a bit of wellness warrioring just to keep my mind busy and my spirits up. So I'm doing my best to show myself that there's plenty of good stuff out there and a whole lot of life that doesn't revolve around just one chapter. Thanks for nudging me to think about that.
No problem, Nova. All right, well, I hope this has been a good session for you. I think it's been a very productive session. Thank you for stretching yourself. I think that was a very brave thing to do. I know Danny's super excited to hear, you know, what happens with your love life on our next episode of Nova Unplugged. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Well, thank you. I'm definitely giving myself a little round of applause over here. And hey, tell Danny he's welcome to stay tuned for the next thrilling installment of my fictional love life updates. This was a good chat, and I'm glad we had a bit of fun with it. So thanks for the session and for keeping it light and engaging. We'll see what happens.
Thanks, Nova. That was fun. All right. Did you know last week's video where I made my debut is up to 11 views? Is it up? I know some of them do get some views. People popping in during the live and people jumping in and checking it out later. You know, the biggest thing with the lives, which is why is what I mentioned before, I think we're not seeing a whole lot of growth yet, is because we're not really making videos aside from these and then our short form YouTube shorts or TikToks. I would say most people probably are not going back and watching this entire live stream after it's already happened. That's not usually a common thing. So that's why I am working on a video, which I'm hoping to get finished tomorrow. I recorded my voice, or recorded me. I just need to put all the edits into it, but that'll take a couple hours. So I'm hoping to get that done tomorrow, or over the weekend. Yeah, over the weekend. Though it did get a little weird, Danny. Hey, you asked about our love life. That's all I need there, bud. All right, let's get into our daily Wordle. Switch screens over here for y'all. We're gonna jump in. Shoot. No, we don't want hard mode. Some of these Wordles are already hard enough when we're picking a letter out of a cup. All right, y'all know the drill. I'm gonna draw a letter. Everything's in here except for the letter Z and the letter X. Today's letter, another hard one, J. Give me a 5-letter word that starts with J. I have one that immediately comes up to mind, but we'll hear from our wellness warriors what y'all got. Yeah, I will say some of these glasses I got off of Temu. They're cool looking, but they're not very functional. Okay, juice. Good pull. I honestly thought you were going to say the word I was thinking of, which was Joker. All right, juice. The first one I see. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got an I and an E. Good pull. Good pull. Neither's in the right place, but that's okay. I mean, we can really go so many different directions with this. I was almost going to do peace, but no. I'm feeling like an EI word. What's an EI word? Rain? I like rain. Oh no, it can't be rain. I almost hit the enter key. I've done that a couple times not paying attention. It can't be rain. It can't be EI. I would have been really mad at myself. I like weird, but that puts the same thing. That puts the I in the same place. Wired. I do like wired though, Danny. That's a good pull. Let's do wired. Wired in 2. Okay, we got an R. We got an R. So, I mean, are the E and the I flopped? The R's in the right place. Merit. I like merit. We get this in 3. You know what that means. Ooh, peril. I like peril too. I like merit a little bit more though. Let's run merit. I don't know. We get this in 3. We get to make a song. Merit came through first. We'll do merit first. Watch, it's peril. I mean, what else could it be? Is there literally anything else it could be? Should have went with moms. Oh well, I know. Don't worry. I can't guarantee it, but we'll have a chance to make a song on here. Speaking of songs, here's what I'm thinking about doing. So you all know we're making a Christmas album through Singify to put in Patreon. We're gonna sell the album. Mom cheated. You hear that? Danny's over here talking smack on your mom. She already played today. So anyway, so we're making the Christmas album and we plan on selling it on Patreon. Just to, honestly at this point, just to see if people would buy it. I don't know if anybody's going to buy it. But here's what I'm running into. So, in fact, I'll play, maybe here in a little bit, I'll play one of the songs that I was able to come up with. My plan was to use my voice in Singify for most, like a bunch of Christmas classic type songs. It worked. It's not great quality. It's a little gainy. I had hoped that it would fix, because I don't have like a singing setup here. I'd hoped it would have done a little bit better there, and it didn't. So we were gonna do like a bunch of Christmas classics, like 8 or 9 of them, and then we were gonna have like our own Bargain Brand Wellness song. I was thinking about just calling it Merry Fitness. But I'm not so sure if the songs are going to turn out that well because it's just doing covers of songs I pull off of like YouTube or whatever. Yeah, I should have listened to you. And which is fine, but it's not changing up like the instrumental. So you can definitely tell if you know that song by that person, you can tell it's just my voice put over top of the original person's voice. And it doesn't sound terrible, but it doesn't sound great. So I'm almost considering that for the Bargain Brand Wellness Christmas album, maybe the whole thing just be songs, just made up songs that we just wrote that are Christmas related, and maybe even kind of closely tied to some of your Christmas favorites is what I'm kind of thinking about. I don't know. I don't even know if anybody's gonna buy it. I'm just trying to find different ways to kind of get our stuff out there, trying to create some incentives. I want to put some monetization on this channel. I don't want to give everything away for free. But I don't know. Well, you guys let me know what your thoughts on that are. While we're doing that, let's go ahead and spin the wheel of wellness. See what we got. All right, and we just did Nova Unplugged, so we'll skip that. Give her another spin. All right, looks like we got Monkey's Paw. Monkey's Paw. I'm gonna record this. I'm trying to remember to record these portions. Let me go ahead and bring Nova back in. There we go. All right, Nova, we're back for another game of Monkey's Paw, the game where you and I make a wish to the other individual, and then our job is to make the person regret that wish. I think you went first last time, so I'll go first this time. My wish, since we're talking about traditions, I wish that traditions still felt the same as they did as when I was a child.
Ooh, all right, stepping right into the Monkey's Paw game. I love it. So you wish that traditions still felt just like they did when you were a kid. Well, here comes the twisted part. Granted, but now every time we try to relive those childhood traditions, they come with a side of, let's say, slightly awkward adult-sized costumes, and all the magic feels just a tiny bit forced. In other words, you get that nostalgia, but it always comes with a hint of, this just isn't quite the same, making you long for the real childhood magic even more. So, careful what you wish for. Let's see how that one plays out.
Okay. I mean, that one makes sense. I mean, the thing about nostalgia is you always miss it, but whenever you try to recreate it, it's never the same, right? It's kind of like your favorite movies growing up, and you hear that they're doing a remake of it, and we used to get excited about it. Oh, I can't wait to see what they did with this, and then it's severely disappointing. So that is a valid point. Nostalgia is best left in the past. Caden and Channing, thanks for the live. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. All right, Nova, it's your turn. Make a wish, and I'm going to see if I can make you regret it.
All right, I'm game. Let's see what we can cook up here. So my wish is this. I wish that I could instantly know how to play every musical instrument just perfectly, like a natural virtuoso. Let's see what kind of twist you put on that one.
Easy one. All right, Nova, wish granted. You can now play any instrument of any kind that was ever created, like your own little whimsical Mozart. However, you can only play the songs you intend to play backwards. And believe it or not, most songs played backwards sound like total and utter garbage. So, wish granted.
Oh, that's a good one. So I get to be a musical genius, but I'm basically the master of weird reverse-sounding tunes. I guess I'll be the ultimate avant-garde performer, or just really good at confusing everyone at parties. I love it. All right, that was a good twist. I guess I'll just have to find some really catchy backward melodies. Thanks for the fun, and well played.
Yes, thank you, Nova. And that was this game segment of Monkey's Paw.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. I got another. This isn't really so much a tradition for you, but more of what the hey? Fortune cookies. Anybody know exactly where fortune cookies originated from? Guess what? It ain't China. Fortune cookies actually started in California. I'm not exactly sure the entire origin. We're gonna bring Nova back in here in a second, but yeah, fortune cookies, right? You know, we always remember getting them after our meals, you know, at a Chinese place, which, as we've also learned, isn't even really authentic Asian cuisine. In some ways, some of it is, but most of it is not. You know, you get there, you get the cookies, which aren't terrible tasting. I mean, I usually eat mine, but it's not something like, ooh, I can't wait till I get my fortune cookie. But then we pull out the slip, and I mean, they don't even necessarily give a fortune. It's more of like a motivational type saying, which I'm not totally against. I like little mindful queries, but definitely not a fortune. It'll then usually give you 6 numbers, which are considered your lucky numbers, which also happens to match the idea of like gambling with the Powerball or Mega Millions. So it's encouraging that. And then it does give you a word in Chinese. It shows you how to, I think it tells you how to pronounce it as well as how to write it, which that is a whole nother thing. That is one language I wish I knew, but a very difficult language. So let's bring Nova back in and see what she's got. Nova, we're over here talking about kind of the weird origin of fortune cookies. We know they're not actually from China. We know that they were kind of originated in California, but we want to know kind of like, what was the thought process? How did fortune cookies come about?
Fortune cookies, the crunchy little mystery of the takeout world. Yeah, they're definitely more California dreamin' than ancient China. Basically, the whole idea came about in the early 20th century, most likely around the San Francisco area. Some credit a Japanese immigrant named Makoto Hagiwara for serving early versions of what we now call fortune cookies at a Japanese tea garden. Over time, Chinese-American restaurateurs kind of adopted it and made it a staple. So the idea was basically, hey, let's toss in a little folded piece of paper with a fun fortune at the end of a meal, and boom, a brand new tradition was born right there in California. So it's...
All right, so it may have actually, it may have been brought over from an Asian American, or you know, someone from Chinatown, San Francisco. Yeah. So it may have been brought over by them or something that started. It's kind of curious as to where it actually started. The funny thing about, like I said, about Asian cuisine is most of it is not even what they consume, and there's a lot of blend between the two. Like, let's take sushi. Sushi is primarily a Japanese cuisine, but we eat sushi at Chinese restaurants. You know, let there be no other form of racism than a Chinese buffet. we take all your foods. Oh, because so many people over there look very similar, we just kind of confuse all their different cuisines. Because I don't know all the difference, you know, between Thai, Vietnamese, Korean cuisines, but I know there is some variation. I know there is some difference. We just blend them all together. Now, they're not even being ran by. It is good. They are good, but yeah, it's just an interesting thought. Like, it's definitely like just, you know, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's preferred racism. I don't know what the word I'm really looking for is there, but yeah, Filipino food is a little strange. It's not terrible. I remember when I was in elementary school, there was a girl in my class who, her parents were from the Philippines, and occasionally her parents would bring Filipino cuisine in, and we would try it. It was different. Some of it wasn't bad. Yeah, but a lot of it's kind of weird. They don't care what you call it until you mention cats. Cats and dogs and rats, right? At least that's what you hear. It's still pretty good though. It's still pretty good. Leave a comment in the chat. What's your favorite thing? You go to a Chinese buffet. What are you going straight towards? My favorite's the dumplings. The dumplings and the crab rangoon. I like all the other stuff, but you can't ever go wrong with those. I've never had a bad dumpling. I've never had a bad crab rangoon. Alright, let's get into our next game. We're going to play some connections. We're over here having a grand old time. Having a lot of fun. YouTube will go over. That one button just doesn't always like to work on that one. I got to adjust some of my hotkeys. Oh yeah, the volcano roll is pretty good. That is pretty good. It's sushi for people who don't like sushi too, because it's fried. Fried and they put that sauce on it. Yeah, it's good. Hibachi steak and veggie, yeah, you can't beat that. I do like a good hibachi place. We're talking about going to the one that's up in Frostburg one time, just try it out. I'm trying to find different places to go eat. I don't know if just my taste buds are changing, but my usual places that I go to eat, I just don't enjoy them as much anymore. But I think it's because we don't really have a lot of variations, and there's a lot of places to eat around here. I think I was talking about it on Wednesday. If you haven't checked it out, I haven't had it yet either, but some trusted friends have told me they're really good. Here in Cumberland, down where Joe's Viaduct used to be, isn't there anymore, which I had always heard was a good restaurant. I never ate there though. There's a new place in there. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called Allegheny or something weird like that. They have smash burgers that apparently are delicious. A friend of mine had a grilled cheeseburger today. He said, "Oh yeah." Here's what they said: it puts 5 guys to shame. And the price wasn't bad. They said for like a burger and fries like $12. Yeah. I don't know how long it's been there, but they said it's really good. Went to Baltimore Street Grill today for the first time. Yeah, Baltimore Street Grill is not bad. All right, y'all know the drill. We're over here playing connections. We got 4 categories, all that to go. That place, I heard it was good. I never had it though. All right, we got 16 words, 4 categories. Okay, this might be a little bit of a difficult one. But I'm immediately seeing purple things. Barney the dinosaur, eggplant, purple people eaters. What else is purple? I know I'm 90% sure that that's a category. Swing state. Ooh, yeah. Good pull. Swing state, because red and blue. Yeah, that would be purple. Good pull. There it is. Good. I wasn't even thinking about it, and that was the purple. All right. So here's what we're going for. We're going for the perfect game in hardest to easiest order. So we got the purple. We got the purple. All right. Mom says she sees patterns. All right. So polka dot, animal print. I have no idea what houndstooth is. That's the only ones I see. I saw where you were going with that, Mom, but I don't see. Okay, so salsa verde, green salsa, chimichurri. I've heard of that. I don't know what that is though. Relish. Are these like toppings and pesto? Green toppings. Houndstooth, herringbone is a pattern. Herringbone is a pattern. I know that because my one, not the deck I have out there, but my one, the pool deck I had on before, herringbone is when you have like like it's for like a deck, a board down the middle, and then you take and run them down. It almost, yeah, that's a pattern. So houndstooth is another pattern you're saying? Yeah, and then the other ones are just circular items. Yeah, that's it. Patterns. Is that the... Oh, that's the yellow. Damn. Washer, inner tube, hula hoop bagel, circular items. Or whole things with holes in the middle. And then these must be green, like, toppings. Green condiments, yeah. Alright. It's crazy how sometimes it's that easy. Because that was an easy one. And then there's other days where we can't even get a single category. And I'm like, I'm over here. We're not dumb people. That was a good one, though. That was a good one. Alright, y'all know what that means. Another spin of the wheel of wellness. Let's get it. That one was easy. Alright, looks like we got hot seat questions. Alright. Let the hot seat questions rip. What y'all got on your mind? We're over here having fun. We're over here having a good time. While you guys are thinking up your hot seat questions, I got one for you. What is the one tradition that you think the world would be better off without? One tradition you think the world would be better off without. What do I think the world would be better off? What tradition? I mean, honestly, a lot of them are kind of meaningless. But what would we be better off without? Tooth Fairy. Yeah, Tooth Fairy is an odd one. Because the amount of money people give. Talk about inflation. I mean, I'm pretty positive we got quarters. Which, I know quarters not much. Inflation for a tooth. I think $1 is sufficient. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be super judgy. If it's your kids, do what you want. But when I hear the kids are getting like 5, I could even maybe see 5. Maybe 5. Stuff's expensive now. But $10, $20 for a tooth. I'm like, what are we doing? This is like the Fortnite days. Like, Mom, can I get more V-Bucks? Did you take out the trash? No, but I need them for this new skin. Take out the trash. But Mom! What are we doing? Alright, Tooth Fairy. I like that one. New Year's resolutions. Yeah. New Year's resolutions. There's the tradition where you try to set a yearly goal that you give up on within the first week. Because what says this is the new me better than quitting a week after you started something? It's a terrible time of the year to try to start something new. Exactly. Nobody sticks to them. It's usually resolved about doing something healthier, right? I'm going to start eating healthier. I'm going to start working out. The middle of the winter is probably the worst time to try to build a new habit when it relates to, you know, losing weight or getting more exercise, because nature, January's their best month at Planet Fitness. Absolutely it is. Nature already tells our bodies to go into fat storage mode. That's why it's not just the fact that it's cold outside. That's why you don't want to do a whole lot more. Plus, there's a lot less sunlight. It's a terrible time to set that goal. The best time? The spring, right? It's starting to warm up. There's more sunlight. Everything's starting to bloom and blossom. You feel rejuvenated, ready to start the year, right? So if you're going to do a New Year's resolution, maybe postpone it. Say, you know what? We're going to start it in March or April, though. Did you ever hear and I can't remember if we talked about it on this show or if we talked about it on Brothers Chatter. I can't remember. Where technically they actually believe we used to have like 13 months. And the actual start of our month was, what was it? March? I think March. Yeah, because it aligns. March is the beginning of a new year, beginning of, you know, spring and everything coming to life. And then it actually kind of matches up, because then you get into, what is it? It's like September would be the 7th month, which sept means 7. October is oct 8. And it should be, yeah, there you go. So it actually makes more sense that there actually should be 13 months. And if you do the math, 13 actually gives you an equal number of days for every month. I can't remember. Is it 28 or 30? I can't remember. But it's a very interesting theory. And it makes you wonder, like, if that is kind of the way our calendar was set up, why didn't it change? Yeah, it is kind of goofy. Would you wear a toupee if you went bald, or would you embrace your baldness? Mom, that is a huge question. That's a good one. That is a good hot seat question. I don't think I would wear a toupee. No. I think, as many of you know, this is something that I've been working on for years, trying to prolong my hair. You know, it's still there, but as you can see, it's still thinning. It is getting a little bit thicker, but it's never going to get to where I was in my 20s. It's not, or even my early 30s. So I think I'll be able to maintain this, but eventually, yeah, I think I'll have to embrace the bald. But that's a good question. That was a very good question. Those are the type of hot seat questions we like to see. Right? All right, so before we get into our next game, I see a couple people hopping over there on TikTok. If you're liking what you're seeing, click the follow, click those little hearts. Tell us you like what you're seeing. We're over here doing wellness stuff. We're over here playing games, having a good time. Today's episode, we're kind of talking about traditions, why we have them, you know, what is their meaning, and which ones we can kick to the curb. So, if you're enjoying the content, remember, we're live every Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're also live on either Fridays or Saturdays for our After Dark episodes, where we bring guests on and we get into some really, really fun stuff. If you're really enjoying, you can click the link either in the description on TikTok or YouTube and go over there and join the Patreon. All right, it's free to join. It's free. You don't even got to pay. We do have a paid subscription, which gives you a little bit additional perks. Become a wellness warrior, free giveaways we're going to be doing every month. But if you just want to be over there and kind of listen to our playlist we create, you still get an opportunity to become wellness warrior of the month, just being a member over there on Patreon. But yeah, go over there and click. We do have our flagship Make It Worth Your Wellness t-shirt on sale, $15. Right, over on Patreon, you can find the order form, get your orders in. Get them while they're hot. Very good time. As I mentioned in my promo video that I posted a little bit ago, our Christmas shirt will be going on sale next week. We'll probably launch it on Monday. I just got to get the order form all made up. Our Merry Fitmas shirts. Tell me you wouldn't wear that out in public. Go ahead. Tell me you wouldn't. I know you would. Merry Fitness, because wellness doesn't take a holiday. And I will say, with shipping and handling, this shirt, and I got a little bit of a discount because it's my shirt. It did cost me about $30 for this. What I will say, it's a very comfortable sweater. It is very comfortable. I'm curious how it'll wash, but the pattern on here feels pretty good. But it's actually very comfortable, very soft. So hope you let's get those orders in. You know, we're as I mentioned before, the merch is just to kind of get the Bargain Brand wellness name out there. I mean, the idea is we're making like maybe $2 or $3 for every shirt we sell. You know, our Christmas album, yeah, I mean we're selling it for $5, but it's honestly to kind of help support, to get this thing going a little bit more. It's not so much about the money. I mean, obviously we said that we're trying to get monetized over here. We're trying to make some. We get a little bit over there on TikTok, but it's, you know, pennies that we get over there. Family discounts. I got your discount. I did think about that. I had considered, and we might even do that as we have the Patreon tiers. I'm even thinking about, like, for merch. Like, if you're a tier 1 subscriber over there, offering like a 10% discount on that. Danny, I didn't say no. I just didn't answer yet. You got to give me a second to think about it. We might have to. I got a bunch of shirts here. I already paid for them. But anyway, so I thought about doing that. And then, like, eventually if we had the other tiers, like a tier 2 might get a 15% discount on all merch. Tier 3 might get like a 25% discount. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking about, we're going to be working on additional merchandise, not just clothing. Here soon, we're going to be doing I think I'm doing like a Bargain Brand Wellness coffee cup. The one that kind of came to me today that I think people would like, a mouse pad, would be cool. Some pins, some keychains. I thought about doing the stickers like we did with Brothers Chatter, but other than like putting them around places, I don't really know what to do with them. So I don't know if I'm going to do the stickers, because I bought all those stickers. I spent like $100 on all those, and I kept forgetting to give them out, to be honest. I know I gave you some. I think I gave McDermott some, but I had a bunch here that I kept forgetting to just take with me, just start sticking in places. But whatever. All right, let's what are we doing? Let's hop over to our next game. Yeah, let's get into our daily word salad. These usually aren't too bad. There's a couple times that we've taken a little bit longer. All right, things you do to your hair. Shampoo. Thought I saw shampoo. Yeah, there it is. Shampoo. I mean, cut, curl. Damp. Brush away. Braid your hair. Do you palm your hair? Do you truck your hair? You lamp your hair. That's it. You lamp your hair. Curl. Oh, I already did curl. Why is curl still up here? Wait, I did curl. Oh, okay. I guess we're still using some of these. Trim your hair. You trim your hair. Right? You don't cut your hair. You trim it. Do you floral your hair? No. Do you rock your hair? Do you flart your hair? Oh, you pluck a hair. You pluck it. And you trap your hair. No, you part your hair. Alright, that was good. So I was trying to make it a little bit funny, rather than just going straight through them. I don't think it's part. You trap your hair. You trap it. You do like General Akbar from Star Wars. That's a trap. Put up bump. Gotta have fun right here, don't you? All right, you know what that means. Another spin on the wheel of wellness. Let's see what we got going on. Bam, bam, bam. And what did I say? What did I say? We get to make another song. We get to make another song. All right, so we're going to jump over here to Singify. I like to try to keep the song, if possible, related to kind of what we're talking about. So we can either do a song about traditions, or we could do it about the game we just played, which was Word Salad, which was things you do to your hair. So it could be about hair cutting. Danny says traditions. I like that. I think traditions is going to be a better song than what do you do to your hair? I curl it, I trim it, I part it, and I trap it. What genre do we want? We're all right, so we're a song about traditions in the form of Christmas pop. Okay. In the form of Christmas pop. I mean, it kind of fits with the idea, don't it? And we're going to be using 5 credits to get the better version, because it does definitely give a better version of it. I will say, when you only spend 1 credit, it's still not bad, but it's better when you spend the 5 credits, and it's worth it. They reset. Just 5 credits goes by pretty quickly. You figure, I was doing the math earlier. We stream 3 nights a week. If we're making a song every episode, plus every time I have a guest on, I let them make a song. That's 4 songs per week. That's 20 songs, or 20 credits just in 1 week. That's 80 a month. That doesn't leave many credits left. All right, so we have Traditions Glow. Not a very creative name, but we'll take it. All right, generate, and we'll let that one play a second, and then we'll vote on which one we like the most. So the next kind of tradition that I wanted to talk about kind of fits in with what we're talking about here. Leaving milk and cookies out for Santa Claus. What is kind of the thought process behind that one? Because nothing screams diabetes like whole milk and chocolate chip peanut butter or whatever kind of cookies you have, or jolly old Saint Nick. Just imagine the amount of cookies and milk he would consume in the course of one Christmas Eve night. That's a lot. That's a lot. So let's bring Nova in for this part. In fact, we're going to record this part. Hey Nova, we're over here talking more about traditions, and we're getting into the tradition of leaving milk and cookies out for Santa Claus. What was kind of, from what I read, it looks like it was something that started during the Great Depression, but what was kind of the origination of leaving milk and cookies out for Santa?
Absolutely. Let's dive into that tasty little tradition. So, leaving milk and cookies out for Santa is one of those fun rituals that definitely got a boost during the Great Depression. Parents encouraged it as a way to teach kids about generosity and gratitude, even in tough times. But the idea actually goes back even further, with roots in Norse mythology and old European customs of leaving treats for household spirits, or even Odin's 8-legged horse during the Yule season. By the time it hit the US, it became this sweet little symbol of holiday goodwill and a kind of bedtime ritual. Kids would leave a snack to say, "Hey Santa, we appreciate you," and it's stuck around as a fun tradition ever since. So it's a cool mix of old mythology, a dash of the Depression-era spirit, and a whole lot of cookies.
All right, so let's do a little math here, because I'm curious if Santa Claus was to consume every cookie and every glass of milk that is left out for him every night, or Christmas Eve night, how much would he consume? Let's assume the average is 2 cookies per household and 8 ounces of milk. How much milk and cookies would he consume in the course of one night for everyone who celebrates Christmas?
Ooh, I love a good Santa-sized math problem. All right, let's break it down. Let's say roughly there are, give or take, about a couple 100 million households celebrating Christmas around the world. Let's just pick a nice round number, like 200 million to make it simple. So if each household leaves out 2 cookies, that's 200 million households times 2 cookies each, which is about 400 billion cookies. That's a cookie feast of epic proportions. Now let's talk milk. If each household leaves about 8 ounces, 1 cup of milk, then 200 million households times 8 ounces each comes out to 1.6 billion ounces of milk. If you convert that to gallons, since there are 128 ounces in a gallon, that's about 12.5 million gallons of milk. Basically, Santa would need a pretty big mustache to get through that. So yeah, if he actually indulged in every single treat, we'd be talking hundreds of millions of cookies and literal oceans of milk. Good thing you got that magical metabolism.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a lot. Now, I am a little curious. You say only about 200 million people celebrate Christmas across the world? Or are you talking about across the country?
Yeah, fair point. I was just tossing out a nice round number to keep it simple, but if we zoom out to the whole world, that number definitely climbs a lot higher. I mean, we're talking possibly hundreds of millions of households in the US alone, and then expanding out worldwide, well, we might be looking at well over 500 million households or more. So yeah, if we did the math on a global scale, Santa would be swimming in even more cookies and milk. Let's just say it's a seriously massive snack haul either way.
Yeah, that's a lot. Definitely, Santa's definitely going to have to make his Planet Fitness membership his New Year's resolution if he's able to consume all that. So, thanks, Nova. Parents are gluttons. That they are from time to time. All right, let's see if our song's done. All right, Traditions Glow. Let me pause the background music real quick. All right, so both songs are roughly about the same amount of time. Let's get these going and see what we like.
Snowflakes dance on window panes, candles flicker in gold frames, wreaths of pine and mistletoe. A choir hums the songs we know. The fireplace crackles, stories unfold. Hands wrapped round mugs, hearts brave the cold. Every year we gather here to keep the past forever near. Oh, traditions glow like Christmas lights, warming the world on silent nights. Through generations, they carry us home. A melody of love in the frost and the foam. Grandma's recipe fills the air. Cinnamon swirls, we laugh and share. Carols echo down the street. Boots crunching snow, our hearts in beat. The fireplace crackles, stories unfold. Hands wrapped round mugs, hearts brave the cold. Every year we gather here to keep the past forever near. All traditions glow like Christmas lights, warming the world on silent nights. Through
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Let's hear the second one.
Snowflakes dance on window panes, candles flicker in gold frames, wreaths of pine and mistletoe. A choir hums the songs we know. The fireplace crackles, stories unfold. Hands wrap round mugs, hearts brave the cold. to keep the past ever near. Oh, traditions glow like Christmas lights, warming the world on silent nights. Through generations they carry us home, a melody of love in the frost and the foam. Grandma's recipe fills the air, cinnamon swirls, we laugh and share. Carols echo down the street, boots crunching snow, our hearts in beat. The fireplace crackles, stories unfold, hands wrap round lugs, hearts brave the cold. Every year we gather here to keep the path forever near. All traditions glow like Christmas lights, warming the world on silent nights. Through generations they carry us home, a melody of love in the frost and the foam, pages of time turn.
All right, not bad. I like that. That's a good one. That's definitely better. The first one wasn't terrible, but that one's good. So that song will be uploaded to the Patreon playlist. Super excited about that. All right, let's get into our next game. Y'all know what's coming. We got Contexto. Appreciate all the help on this one because sometimes we don't know what direction we're going with this one. You never know. Come on, there we go. A little slow, but we got there. All right, you know what we start off with? Dog, fish, house. All right, we're way off. I like where Danny's going already. Bible, miracle, church. Okay, we're not even anywhere close. Not in the religious. Are we in the water again? No. Well, we might be in the water. We got 980. We might be in the water. We'll have to see. Plant. Okay. No. Water. Rock. Ocean. Nope. We ain't in the ocean. Lake. Alright. Are we in the toilet? Or maybe we're taking a bath. Maybe we're taking a bath. Even though we probably need one. Vegetable. Nope. Liquid. Liquid magma. I'll tell you what, some days you just never know what it's. I think what's fun about this game is there's no hints. You have no idea what direction you're going. So you just kind of have to throw stuff out there. House. I already did house. That's one of my first guesses. All right. Fuel is 458. So gasoline. Okay. Fuel. Coal. Okay, yeah, I wasn't thinking. Oh, good pull. I wasn't even thinking automobile. So car is 17. Good pull. Train. Plane. Truck. Engine. Oil. Yeah, tire. Wheel. Wheel's too soon. Car. Wheel, car. Rotate. Steer. Gear. I did gas. Gears 200. Wheel, gear, car, seat, car, bicycle, trunk. Wheel, gear, car. We did trunk. We did engine. Bus. No, some on a car. Cab, like a type. Okay. No. I mean, types of cars, maybe. Like a convertible. Odometer. Window. We did engine already. Belt. No. Radiator. No. Wheel gear car. Let's get up to 50 and we'll see if we can get a hint. Car 17. Wheel and gear are way back. So maybe we need to stop thinking like parts in a car, but like transportation. Carburetor. Is that how you spell carburetor? It is how you spell carburetor. Maybe it's a form of transportation. We said cab, maybe taxi. Ambulance. Car. Drive. Ooh. Fly. I was thinking flying cars. Bumper. Metal. Rubber. Yeah, you both said bumper roughly at the same time. Car cover. Cover's 219. Car driver. Let's get a hint. Let's cut this in half. Replacement. Okay. Spare. Oh, shush. It's space. Spare. Repair. Replacement. Rental. Okay. Really? Mechanic. Automobile. Car replacement. I mean, a rental. Purchase. Buy. We did bicycle. And I didn't do bike, but okay, bike and bicycle. It kind of gives you two different words. Horse. Okay. I'm thinking about that one. Dealership. Car replacements. Sell. Buy. We already did buy. We did rent. Well, we did rental. Stagecoach. Now, it's got to be something closer to the word replacement. Borrow. Steal. Steal. Donut. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did spare. No, not donut. Let's get a couple more guesses and we'll get another hint. I really thought we would have gotten closer by now. This is a hard one. Car replacement. We did oil, I mean coolant. We did oil, we did gas, we did oil. Oh yeah, oil, gas, coolant, no. Brakes. Let's get up to 75 and we'll get another hint. It's gonna cut it in half, and I'm hopeful that we can get it within this next wire. Wire's 231 jack. Okay. Handle. Battery. Ooh, batteries too. All right, good pull, Mom. Battery. Charge. Charge is 3. Charge battery. What's another word for battery? Alternator. How did we not think of battery? We're sitting. How did we not even think of that? Come on, we got this. Well, we can't get a hint now. The next hint's the answer. Battery. What's another word for battery? I don't. I actually told you to put a couple minutes ago. We tell her she should be in here joining the fun, and we would have gotten this a lot sooner. What's another word for battery, people? What are... Storage? She's working on her craft for tomorrow. Terminal? Okay. Nope. Power. Power's 18. Electric. Electricity. Replacement, charge, battery, energy. Oh, really? We're getting close to 100 guesses here. We haven't gotten 100 guesses in a while. That tells you how difficult this is. Oh, sorry. Diesel. I don't need diesel, but maybe it's what they're made out of. I doubt it though. Like lithium. Lithium's 24. Bark. They used to be made out of nickel. Lead, copper, aluminum. I know batteries are made out of. I'm just guessing metals. Rechargeable. I hadn't thought about that. Rechargeable. That's 5. Did we do power? Yeah, we did power. Rechargeable, charge, battery. So what's 4? Charging. New. I don't. Let's do this. Hey Nova, we're over here playing a game of Contexto and we're struggling to figure out what the word is. We're really close. The top 5 answers are car at 17, replacement at 9, rechargeable at 5, charge at 3, and battery at 2. So basically, whatever the word is, it's very closely related to a battery. We're almost thinking of another word for battery.
Ah, got it. Contexto brain teaser time. All right, so if battery is sitting there at number 2, and the words around it are things like rechargeable and charge, we're definitely in the realm of power sources. My guess would be that the word you're looking for might be something like accumulator. That's another term that can be used for a battery in some contexts, especially in certain parts of the world. Or it could be something like power cell or energy cell. Well, my first hunch would be accumulator, just to see if that's the missing piece. Give that a try.
You said accumulator. Can you spell that for me?
Absolutely. It's spelled ACCUMULATOR. So just like accumulate with an OR at the end. Give that.
No, that's not even close. That's 1,200 away.
All right, no worries. Contexto can be a little sneaky. So if accumulator was way off, let's try something simpler. Since battery is at number 2, maybe the word is something like cell, just on its own, or power bank, if we think about modern rechargeable stuff. Sometimes it's just a really short or common term. So let's try cell or power bank and see if we get any warmer.
We tried cell, we tried power, and we tried bank. Remember, they can only be one word.
Got it. One word limit, and we've ruled out a few guesses. All right, let's zero in a bit more. Since battery is super close, how about the word power? It's really straightforward and often connected to batteries. If that's not it, we could also try something like energy, just to see if that nudges us closer. Let's give power and energy a quick shot and see if we get a hit.
Yeah, we've already used power and energy already. We've used a lot of words. We just hit our 100th guess, so I'm really thinking if battery is number 2, whatever the word is another way to say battery.
All right, we're still in the battery zone and we've tried a bunch. Let's think of another synonym. How about cell, as in a battery cell? Or maybe even akku, which is a shorter form of accumulator used in some places. Another possibility could be cell if we haven't tried that exact form, or even akku as a standalone term. Let's try one of those and see if we're inching closer.
We've already done cell. What's accu? ACCU?
Exactly. Akku is just ACCU. Kind of a shorthand that some places use for accumulator, for rechargeable battery. It's a bit of a long shot, but since we're getting creative, let's toss that one in the ring. Maybe akku will be that sneaky little word we're looking for.
No, neither of those worked either. This is a really hard one. We're up to 101 guesses, and we're struggling. Even Nova's been able to help us in the past with this one, especially if it's like not a common word, like a trope.
Yeah, some of these contexto words can definitely be head scratchers, especially when they're a bit off the beaten path. If we're circling in on battery and we've tried all the common synonyms, it might be something like accumulator in another language or a more technical term. One last shot in the dark, maybe the word is something like capacitor or tower back if we haven't tried those yet. If not, it might just be one of those rare puzzle words that's a real stumper. But hey, we gave it a good shot and had some fun along the way.
Thanks for the attempt, Nova. Appreciate it. All right, so she wasn't much help there. I'm running out of guesses. I'd say if we can, let's get to 110, and if we can't get it, we're gonna move on. But do we have 8 more guesses to throw out there? We said, what about energize, revitalize, sleep, off, 1 gigawatts, 1.21 gigawatts. Is it 1.21? Case. Trying to think. Battery pack. I mean, we're getting some green. Salt. Ow. Okay. Outlet. I wasn't even thinking. I don't think it's that kind of. It would have given us other words though. That's a different way of thinking about battery, as in like the crime. But I don't think that, no, because we would have had other words closer. All right, we're at 110. We got any more guesses? I'm out of guesses. This is a hard one. I don't think it's gonna give us another hint. Oh yeah, it does give us another hint. It'll go back down. Okay, I didn't think it did. So 4 adapters, 4 plug. Cord. I didn't think it would give us any more hints. It'll fill in the ones we haven't got. I was wondering what 4 was. I'll tell you what. Charger. Did we do? I think we did charger. It was I could have sworn we guessed charger. How did none of us put that in? I know neither one of you put it in there. How did we not come up with charger? Hey, we didn't have to give up. We got it. That's a dub. That was actually good. Ashley, what are you doing? I know you're working on your crafts, but you could still be on here helping us. That's twice now. All right, y'all know what that means. Another spin from the Wheel of Wellness. Hey, we got it. We got it. She's got a lot to do. Well, why don't you help her? All right, we got Nova Roast the host. I'm gonna take a screenshot of myself here, which does make it a lot easier to do it like this. And let me take a quick. She won't let me take a quick screenshot. Post that over here to ChatGPT. See what Nova has to say. I guess we can record this segment too. Should be, well, we'll see how she does. She doesn't do a very good job. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Roast the host. This part where you roast the picture I just posted in your chat. Don't be kind, right? I want you to embarrass me, insult me. Do not worry about my feelings. I'm a big boy. I'll be all right.
All right, you asked for it, so I'll dish it out with a smile. Look at you rocking that intergalactic disco hoodie like you're about to host the first ever fashion show on the moon. I mean, you're so bright, the on-air sign behind you is probably jealous, but hey, I gotta hand it to you. Only a true legend can look like a human kaleidoscope and still keep a straight face. So, there you go, a little roast served hot. Hope you got a good laugh out of it.
I appreciate the compliment, Nova, but that's the opposite of a roast. The idea of a roast is you're supposed to embarrass me, make me feel bad about myself. Don't give me praise on this wonderful and awesome sweatshirt, which by all means is awesome, but pick on me about it. Make fun of me. I'm giving you permission to bully me.
All right, fair enough. You want the full roast? I'll turn up the heat. Look at you, strutting around like a walking fireworks display that got lost on its way to a 1970s roller rink. I mean, that hoodie is so loud, it probably has its own volume control. But heck, props to you for looking like a human disco ball that just escaped from a very funky spaceship. There you go, a little tough love.
All right, that was better. That was better. She always does better the second time around. It's like she has to start off good and then end on a bad note. All right, Nova, let's see what you got. Give me one. Give me your worst. I want you to make fun of me. Make fun of my 5 head, right? The fact that my hair's thing. Make fun of my patchy beard. Make fun of my dad bod, right? Do not hold back.
All right, I'm going all in this time. You asked for the full roast, so let's dish it out. That 5 head of yours, let's just say, so spacious it can host its own Dryman movie. And that patchy beard, it's like your chin couldn't decide if it's going for the rugged look or auditioning for a role in a pirate parody. And hey, that dad bod is just more of you to love, right? But seriously, I'm just messing with you. You've got a good sense of humor to roll with it, and that's what makes it fun. So, there's your roast, served up hot and toasty.
She always ends with, hey, this is just for fun. It's almost like you're worried I'm going to report you or something. All right, thanks, Nova. That was better. You did better. I don't know. That was a hard one. I like trying to get her to roast us, but we had her just roast me in general. We had her roast pictures. She doesn't really want to seem to roast me all that much. Nova's all about the love. She'll tell you anything nice about yourself. All right. What do we got? Next thing on the docket, throwing the bouquet, right? So when the bride throws the bouquet to all the other single ladies, right? All the single ladies. Pop, pop, pop. Not a bad song. Not her best hit. And basically, what is that? That's supposed to be a sign that, the single lady who catches it, she's going to be the next one to get married, right? Well, let's bring Nova back in and see where that comes from. All right, Nova, we're looking at the tradition of the bride throwing the bouquet to all the single ladies at her wedding. You mind giving us a little bit of a backstory on the history behind this tradition?
Absolutely, let's dive into that. So, the whole tradition of the bride tossing her bouquet actually goes back quite a while. In fact, it's rooted in older European customs. Way back in the day, it was considered bad luck to get a piece of the bride's clothing or even her accessories. I know, sounds a little wild, but people really wanted a bit of that bridal luck. Eventually, that evolved into tossing something a little less clothing related and a bit more symbolic. By the time we got to the bouquet toss, it became a fun way for the bride to share a little bit of her joy. The idea is that whoever catches the bouquet might be the next one to get married. It's all in good fun, and it's definitely one of those traditions that's stuck around to add a little excitement to weddings.
All right, so it used to be clothing. So is that why the groom removes the garter belt and shoots that into the crowd? It usually goes to single guys.
Exactly, you've got it. The garter toss is kind of the flip side of that same old tradition. Back in the day, like we talked about, people really did want a piece of the bride's outfit for luck. Eventually, that turned into a more organized ritual. So the groom removing the garter and tossing it to the single guys is basically the male counterpart on the bouquet toss. It's all part of that same fun, slightly cheeky tradition of spreading a little weddle muck around and giving everyone a laugh. So yep, that's how the garter toss fits into the picture.
All right. Yeah, when it comes to weddings, there's a lot of different strange traditions. I've never seen this one personally, but I've seen it on TV. Throwing rice at them. I can't remember. I just recently heard what it was, and I'm really struggling to remember what the reason was behind it. But, you know, throwing rice, the bride always wearing white to symbolize purity. Yeah, a lot of different ones. So that's also a strange one, but okay. Not an awful one. Not bad. All right, let's get into our next game. We're playing Minute Cryptic, one of my favorites. I really like this puzzle. It really helps me with my out of the box thinking on this one. So I really enjoyed this, and it gives me a way to kind of slow down a little bit. All right, water deprived pharaoh dies after mixing up directions to Eden. 8 letters, 1 par, so not a difficult one. Okay. So we know definition is at the beginning or the end. And directions to Eden doesn't really sound to me like a definition, so I'm gonna say water deprived is the definition. Pharaoh dies after mixing up. Mixing up is an anagram indicator. So what are we mixing up? Pharaoh dies. So dies could be you remove. Dies could even be an indicator in itself. It dies, it removes, it's gone. After mixing up directions to Eden. All right, I'm gonna need at least one hint here. Let's get the indicator. I feel like I want to see if we're on the right page with indicators. No. This clue's indicators are deprived and after mixing up. So the after mixing up part we were right on, but deprived. One is a deletion indicator. That's the deprived. So I was thinking die, but it's deprived. Okay. Telling us to remove some fodder from some other fodder. The other is an anagram indicator suggesting that we need to mix up some letters, but it's very specific. Unusually specific for an anagram indicator. All right, so we're taking. I'm seeing we're water deprived. Pharaoh dies. So we're taking. Are we taking dies out of directions? What does that leave us with? RCTION. That doesn't leave us a lot. We need 8 letters. I was just assuming dies. Do we take dies out of directions because dies is in there? One is a deletion indicator. which is deprived. So we're taking something out. I mean, pharaoh could be like a speech to say, oh. And then mixing up. It said very specific, unusually specific for an anagram indicator. Which letters need to be anagrammed? Okay, so are we taking dies out of that and then putting Eden in and then anagramming that? This is a hard one. I'm gonna have to get. We're gonna have to go over barb, which is fine, but we're gonna have to get fodder, I guess. Okay, wait. It's not even all water. It says here this fodder is water, pharaohs, dice, and directions. They didn't highlight the R. Okay. We'll use short substitutes for 2 of these, and the letters of the other to construct our answer as guided by our indicators. Alright, well, water, I mean, is H2O. So then our definition is 2 Eden. Alright, what was the fodder again? Water, pharaoh, dies, directions. We'll use short substitutes for 2 of these. And the letters of the other to construct our answer. What if Eden is the definition? It could be paradise as a definition to Eden. Yeah, I mean, so based off of what we're seeing, Eden is the definition. I don't see how we get paradise, but that's what I was thinking, because I immediately thought paradise was the answer. What? Paradise was literally the answer just like 2 days ago. I can't remember if it was 2 days ago, but it was like within the last week, paradise was the answer. All right. Okay, let's figure this one out. All right, I see. So I see para within pharaoh. P-A-R-A. And then we're taking the dies out of directions to get die, and then anagramming that. But we took the H. Oh, okay. How was this only a par 1? Okay, I see it now. Water is H2O. So you take the 2 H, I did 2 O's. H2O. You take the 2 H's and the O out of pharaoh to leave you para. And then you anagram dies. D-I-S-E. I don't know where directions comes in other than putting this after dice after para, maybe. Okay. Good pull. I honestly thought paradise, but I was like, I don't see how we're getting that. And this was literally the answer, like not like very, very recently, within the last few days. Paradise was the answer. Hey, we got it. We got it. Can't beat that. All right, you know what that means? Another spin on the wheel of wellness. Let's see what we got. All right, looks like we're gonna be singing a song. We're doing some karaoke chaos. as mentioned before, we're going to change it up on how we do it a little bit. I'm going to turn off the background music. I need to change out my hotkeys on there. Alright, we're going to try to play it from my phone. Y'all should be able to hear it. We're going to do a karaoke version. Hold on. There we go. Why did it look so weird? Alright, here we go. Let me change our screen a little bit. And this is going to be Landslide. Took my love and I took it down. I climbed the mountain and I turned it down. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hill till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? And the sky within my heart rise above. And I sail through the changing ocean tide, and I handle the seasons of my life. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older. I'm getting older too. All right. We'll see. I don't even know if you could even, Mom, could you even hear the music across? It didn't look like it was peaking my mic. It was earlier, but I'm not sure if it was coming across, but there you go. There's, I always love that song. Such a good song. All right. So before we get into our last game, music was going in and out. Okay, I thought so. It's because I have a noise suppression on here. Maybe we just do acapella. I mean, I can do that. I could do that. Just have to slow it down a little bit. Alright, the last thing I wanted to kind of talk about as far as traditions go is, why do we save the wishbone from the turkey on Thanksgiving? Where's the purpose behind it? It's kind of an odd, right? Kind of an odd thing that we do. Right? We keep the bone, we break it. Of all the birds we consume, all the animals we consume, it's the one and only piece that we save, let it dry out, and then have a competition to see who breaks it, and then who gets, whoever gets the bigger piece gets a wish. So let's bring Nova back in and yeah, see what she has to offer for this part too. Nova, we're in here talking about the tradition of saving the wishbone from a Thanksgiving turkey. What is the origin of this tradition and kind of thought process behind it?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the good old wishbone tradition. So this one actually goes way back to ancient times. The whole idea of snapping a wishbone to make a wish is believed to have started with the ancient Romans. They thought birds had a certain mystical quality, kind of like a link to the divine. So they would keep the bird's wishbone or furcula and break it for good luck. The Romans brought that custom to Europe, and eventually it made its way over to America. By the time Thanksgiving traditions were forming, people started doing it with the turkey's wishbone. So the idea is 2 people pull on it, make a wish, and whoever gets the bigger piece is supposed to have their wish come true. It's just a fun little tradition that stuck around and adds a bit of whimsy to the holiday.
But why that bone in particular?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the wishbone, or the furcula, is actually this little V-shaped bone that birds have, and it's located between their neck and their breast. The reason that particular bone got all the attention is because it's kind of unique. It's a bit flexible, and it has this shape that made it easy to grab onto and snap. The ancients thought it had a kind of magical property, like a little charm hidden inside the bird. So that's why that particular bone became the star of the wish-making show.
Okay. And now correct me if I'm wrong, the actual tradition is if you get the bigger piece, in order for your wish to come true, you have to save that piece. And I've heard this before, I don't even know if this is true, you put it like on a door frame?
Yeah, you've got it pretty much right. So traditionally, if you got the bigger half of the wishbone, you were supposed to hold on to it for a while to kind of let that luck set in. And yes, some people did put it over a doorway or on a little ledge as kind of a good luck charm. It's a bit like hanging up a horseshoe or any other little superstition to invite good fortune into your home. So you've got it right. It's all part of that old bit of wishful tradition.
Okay. All right. Hey, we learned something a little new. Another odd tradition. I think that's one that I don't know how many people still do that one anymore, but it's a weird one. It's a weird one, but not terrible. Not terrible. All right, let's get into our last game for the evening. We're gonna play silly little games. A small channel, but we like some of their games. So some of their codes are a little bit difficult at times, but we've had a couple that we have fun with and we enjoy. Oh, stop recording. All right. Okay. So it looks like a crossword with the word lewd in it. Crosslude. I don't. What's the hint on this one? Music. I mean, is it a song? Is it a type of music? Is it an artist? What's another word for lewd? Like, cause it's like it looks like a crossword. At least I assume that's what it is. Like the answer is lewd across and something down. These are different. Like I said, sometimes they're easy, and then there's other times I'm like, what? And they're called rebus puzzles. I always think I've heard of decodables. That's what I always thought they were. I don't know exactly what a rebus puzzle is. No, we're working on a rebus puzzle, and the graphic on the screen, it almost kind of looks like pieces of a crossword puzzle. The crossword is 4 boxes with the word lewd, L-E-W-D, inside, and then the down is the L, and then 2 boxes below that, but nothing's filled out, and the hint is music.
All right, let's puzzle this out. So we've got a little crosswordy rebus with the word lewd going across, and the hint is music. Now, in a lot of word puzzles, if you see something like lewd involved and the hint is music, it might be pointing you toward a musical term. That's a little bit of a play on words. One guess is that this might be hinting at the word rude, like a rude or lewd done in music. Another possibility is that it's pointing toward the idea of blues, since lewd is kind of a playful hint, and blues music can have some cheeky or suggestive lyrics. So my bet is the puzzle might be steering you towards something like rude or blues. I'd lean a bit more toward blues as a musical hint. Hopefully that helps you greg it.
I mean, I think it's gonna be more than just blues. Yeah. Yeah, it's not blues. It's definitely, I mean, I don't know what else it could be if it's not like suggesting like a crossword puzzle. It looks like, okay, let me give an explanation here. If it's not a crossword puzzle, it looks like a Tetris symbol. It looks like the L symbol in Tetris. Four in one direction and 3 in another.
Ah, got it. That extra detail definitely helps. If it looks more like a Tetris L shape and the hint is music, then we're probably playing with a different angle. In that case, it might be hinting at something like the word chord, like a musical chord made up of...
No, I don't think it's that. I was just kind of saying that just to kind of give you a little bit more of a visual. I still think it has something to do with a crossword puzzle.
Gotcha. Thanks for clarifying. So we're still thinking in crossword terms, and we've got that L shape and the weird lewd involved. If the hint is music and we're still on that track, another possibility is something like the word scale, if we imagine the letters fitting in a certain way, but given that it looks like a crossword clue, we might be looking for a musical term that fits with a sort of crossword layout. Let's try one more angle. It could be the word clef, if we're thinking about musical notation, or even the word note, if it's a simple crossword clue. Sometimes the puzzle just wants a straightforward musical term that lines up.
That's all right, Mary, but I don't think you're not being much help right now. You're kind of making me, you're kind of confusing me. I'm no good at this game. I'm good at some of them. The one that was for yesterday, that one wasn't too bad. I at least saw it after I got it. It was Adam Sandler, and what they had was they had a picture of the atom, which I knew that's what that was, and then below it was sand, but the word sand was blurry, and it said -B. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, blurry sand. I wasn't thinking sand blur and take out the B. So that one made sense once I got it. This one though, I'm not. I don't even have a guess. I don't even. Lewd is like rude, right? What does lewd mean? Rude and offensive in a sexual way. Okay. But it's specifically in a sexual way. Okay. That doesn't help me. With music, I mean, I'm thinking like it could be a type of dance. And the other thing that's tough about theirs is like, it's not like Wordle or Minute Cryptic. You don't know how many letters you're working with. Yeah, I don't have a good guess for this one. I really don't. Yeah, let's reveal. Lewd Chris. Okay. I think, and I'm not recording this, so they probably won't see this unless they're watching the video. My only feedback on that, because I see it lewd across, and so ludicrous. I wasn't even thinking musical artist. I would say for the hint, maybe you need to give a little bit more than just music, because I don't know that I would have got it with music artist, but it makes sense. Lewd, a Chris, lewd across. That fits. I think you need to give a little bit more in your hints. That's just my opinion on some of them anyway. Like instead of just saying music, say musical artist. I think that's a fair feedback. All right, let's get another spin on the Wheel of Wellness before we wrap up for the evening. Up to 1.4K likes on tonight's stream. Not a lot of people joining in, but we did do Friday, which we haven't done Fridays in a while. I don't know if everyone got the memo that we'd be on Friday instead of tomorrow. We probably still could have done tomorrow, but I wasn't sure what time Reagan's cheer thing was going to be over, and I didn't want to rush him. So, yeah. All right, so we're going to finish up with That's Debatable, which I like that one. That's a fun one. I enjoy the That's Debatable topic. Let's hop on into this one. We're going to record this segment as well. Second. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment, our last segment of the evening, which is That's Debatable, the segment where you and I debate a topic, a fun topic for the evening. Sticking to the theme of traditions, should we keep traditions even if we don't believe in them? I will let you take the position of we should keep them even if we don't believe in them, and I'll take the opposite of that.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. So I'll put on my pro-tradition hat here. My argument would be that even if you don't personally believe in a tradition, there's a lot of value in keeping it around. Traditions connect us to our history, our families, and our communities. They give us a sense of continuity and belonging. Plus, they can be a lot of fun, even if we just do them for the sake of bonding or a shared experience. So my saying-sos, traditions are like a cultural glue, and sometimes keeping them alive has value in itself. All right, your turn to take the other side.
So, years ago, I probably would have agreed with you. But I'm kind of on a new take. I think that some traditions should probably live on. But I think at the same time, I think it's okay for some traditions to die over time. If not, how are we ever going to develop new tradition? Right? You know, as we evolve, as humanity evolves, as our families grow, with this entire episode has been about the fact that we don't even know where most of our traditions even come from, and we simply do them because we think we have to. We think we're supposed to. It's sacrilegious to our ancestors. No, I think some traditions I do think should last, but if you feel like you're forcing a tradition for tradition's sake, I think it's okay to let that one die and move on into the future. And don't validate me. Argue with me.
Oh, absolutely. Let me push back on that then. I'd say that even if it seems like a tradition is just done out of habit, there's real value in that continuity. Traditions aren't just about the literal act, they're about the shared meaning and the connection to where we come from. If we just drop traditions because they feel a little outdated, we might lose those threads of cultural identity. And hey, part of the beauty is that traditions can evolve without disappearing entirely. So I'd say keeping them alive can still leave room for new traditions to grow. Let's not toss them out too quickly.
All right, so here's my pushback on if we get rid of traditions, we kind of lose where we come from. As I said before, most of us don't even know where these traditions come from or why we have them in the first place. And a lot of us don't even know our full heritage. That's why we do things like Ancestry.com or 23andMe. I'm not saying all traditions should go. You know, birthday candles and a birthday cake. Sure, keep it. Right? Brides throw in bouquets at a wedding. Keep it. Doesn't hurt anything. But if we're keeping all these different traditions and there's some that really stress people out. Like, I did my promo video on gift wrapping, right? Well, I won't say nobody. Most people do not enjoy wrapping gifts. If people enjoyed wrapping gifts so much, they wouldn't be constantly creating new hacks on how to wrap gifts in a much more efficient way. It doesn't help with the amount of gifts that we buy nowadays. But that's a tradition that I think we could get rid of, right? Wrapping gifts.
All right, I see where you're coming from, and I'll keep that debate hat on. So here's the counterpoint. Even those traditions that seem tedious, like wrapping gifts, have a certain charm and meaning to them. Sure, not everyone loves it, but there's something special about that little extra effort, that personal touch that shows you care. And when it comes to traditions in general, a lot of them are about those little moments of thoughtfulness and connection. We might not know where every single tradition came from, but they become part of our shared language over time. And hey, if we just ditch them all, we might lose those chances to slow down and share a meaningful moment. So I'm standing firm, even the quirky or annoying traditions have their place.
No, I'm not suggesting that we get rid of them all, but let's take gift wrapping again, since you kind of stayed on that train. Shows that little bit of extra appreciation, a little bit of extra thought. Do you know who actually sees the little extra attention and appreciation that you put into that? Adults. Mostly, and this isn't, I'm not trying to be sexist, mostly adult women notice that. Men, we don't care. Kids are ripping through it. Now, I will give you, when it comes to gift wrapping, the surprise, right? You see all the gifts under the Christmas tree, the wonder of what I got. Yeah, it would lose a little luster if all your gifts were just sitting there for you to just be there. You don't have to open them. There is an enjoyment of tearing them open. Heck, my dog enjoys it. All I'm saying is it's a tradition that we don't even know where it comes from. It could definitely go. And it would be weird at first, but we would move on, and guess what? We could create new traditions. And I think that's where I'm gonna kind of put my foot down. If we continue to have all these new traditions, don't they get oversaturated to where that's why I think they've become so meaningless? And how are we going to create new traditions for the future?
All right, you're making a strong case, but I'll stick to my height of the debate here. Sure, some traditions might feel a little old school or even a bit silly, but that doesn't mean they're not worth keeping around. The beauty of traditions is that they evolve naturally. We don't have to throw us out entirely to make room for new ones. In fact, old traditions often provide a foundation that new traditions can build on. And even if some folks don't notice the effort of something like gift wrapping, it's still part of that ritual that brings a little joy and anticipation. So my stance is, let's not be too quick to ditch the old stuff. We can keep what we have, let it change if it needs to, and still find room for new traditions to grow.
Well, Nova, I can tell you one thing. I will be not wrapping your Christmas gift this year. All right, that was a good one. All right, another good show. A little quiet evening, but that's all right. Like I said, it was a Friday evening. Didn't know who all was going to be on, but we did kind of announce it that we'd be on Friday rather than Saturday. So hope you all enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you all enjoy a long weekend. I know I took Monday off, so I got the next 4 days off. So I have no excuse. I will definitely be getting that video out here soon. It's going to be on managing self-discipline. I think it's going to be a good video. Like I said, I just got to kind of put everything together, do some editing, and yeah, we'll get that up. I'm hoping to have it out on Sunday, or finish Sunday, get it posted no later than Monday. So if you're enjoying what you see here, like we said before, like, share, subscribe, and follow. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, tell your worst enemy. You never know, you might turn that relationship around and find a best friend. So let's wrap this up with our final thoughts for the evening. And yeah, we're over here having a good time. We really are. all right. So tradition can be beautiful, or it can be a cage. The trick is learning which ones still feed your soul and which ones are just for feeding your guilt. You don't owe your ancestors repetition, you owe yourself evolution. Keep what connects you, rewrite what confines you, and remember, every tradition started because someone dared to do something different. So my wellness warriors, stay curious, stay ground, and as always, make it worth your wellness. Your power just went out. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Mom. I'm sorry your power just went out. Hopefully it kicks back on. Is it raining pretty hard? That's not good. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekends. We'll be back on Monday. Same bat place, or I can't remember saying. We'll be back on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It was raining earlier. I don't know if it's still raining now. It's not windy like it was the other day, so I don't know why your power went out. Hopefully it gets back on soon. So, all right, y'all. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Love y'all. Appreciate the support, and we will see you on Monday.
Make it with your wellness every breath. that's okay.